Blomp.
Blomp it good. Dun, 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 dun. Right. This is our Q&A video. We hit 200 subscribers. We actually hit...
We did it twice!
201. And then we dropped back to 197, and now we're at 203. So this is our 200 subscriber Q&A. Now, because we've hit it twice, should we do one Q&A or two Q&A?
No, just one.
Silly.
No one needs to know that much about us.
Yeah, that's true. Also, there are a lot of questions here, and I feel like maybe we'll do a second one to take the piss, and everybody will be like, screw you, we don't need to ask you questions. Anyway, we put a post on Insta, we put a video up, and we did some other stuff.
You all told us what questions you want us to answer, and
Yeah.
you're all ridiculous. Let us begin.
Let's begin. Right, the first question, by the way, we're going to give people some plugs that asked us questions, because we will. Brenny, bugger off. There you go, have that. Have your treat. The first question comes from Berna's Bookish Adventures. If you haven't checked out Berna, she's a Turkish booktuber, and she's very interesting. My question is adaptation based, not very surprisingly, because she does lots of like books to screen adaptation reviews.
She does.
What is the worst adaptation of a book you have ever seen? I mean, there's a queue, isn't there? Because we all know that the book is better than the movie.
I think it's a toss-up for me between the Blurry Pothead by the Turfling.
J.K. Turfling's Barry Plothead.
Yeah. And The English Patient, which should never have been made into a movie because it's a lovely book, but it should stay as such.
Well, I always think there's something to be said for turning long books into movies that go for about an hour and a half. I definitely think that is a quality decision by the director, and that's why I'm going to give it to Guy Pearce. Was in this version of The Count of Monte Cristo. And what is with Guy Pearce? I've never seen a more talented actor appear in such utter crap.
He is...
He needs a new agent. He really does. I mean, he did Priscilla and Memento, and then...
some random stuff.
Yeah, and then the I Need to Feed My Family films.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, that was from Berna. Now, Medieval Jenga, who is Jen the Librarian. I love that name, Medieval Jenga. That is a cool Instagram name. She has 2 questions for us. 2. Un. If you could get drunk with any author, dead or alive, or character, who would it be?
Ooh.
Or character. I mean, that's the curveball, isn't it? Because I think I could do author, dead or alive, but now I have to consider every character. I would go with Voltaire.
Of course you would.
Yeah, I mean...
That's because that's who you'd marry if you could marry anyone dead or alive.
You know how people have like hall passes where if they meet a celebrity, they're allowed to cheat on their significant other?
His would be Voltaire.
Mine, yeah, I would. I have gone for a dead man who, French, who I can't speak the language of. I would hope that Voltaire can speak enough English, but actually I might have to learn Latin.
You're a weirdo. Who would I get drunk with? I feel like there's got to be some kind of pirate character or someone who would be lots of fun and silly.
A pirate character to get drunk with.
Oh, can I just have the 3 Musketeers? Can I just get rat-faced with...
The 3... You have to pick Porthos.
Well, obviously.
No. Yes. But, yeah, some of them have drinking problems. Would you pick the 3 Musketeers, or would you include D'Artagnan in there?
No, D'Artagnan's boring.
He's a bit of a loser.
Yeah.
Also, this is, you've gone into my territory. Dumas is mine.
Sorry.
Yeah, I know.
I just think that would be fun.
It would be. It would be. You may end up in a duel with them or something. That would be scary.
I would lose. But that's fine.
in the book, one of the characters, one of the Musketeers, gets drunk on wine, and he drinks like 12 bottles. I remember reading it.
12 bottles?
I remember reading it and Googling how big was a bottle of wine. I'm like, that is clearly not what happened. Like, that is...
Maybe they had, like, glass-sized bottles.
Yeah.
Like single-serving bottles.
Well, they used to cut their wine with water so that it would go a bit further because you couldn't drink the water. So you put wine with it to kill all the bacteria because it had the alcohol in it.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. All right. Now, because we were clever, I announced this on one of the raps we did, and then we did a Q&A announcement video. So we got questions in multiple parts.
So what you're saying is you're going to play with your phone for a little bit.
Well, I found it. So...
Look at Brittany. He's just like hanging upside down off your arm.
He's looking in the wrong direction for the character. This is the back of my head. This isn't even profile. This is...
He's such a weirdo.
Showing me his lack of nuts too. All right. So we have Danny from Spinelli Speaks.
She asked us 1,000 questions because she's a troublemaker.
She is a troublemaker. Also, that's another, like, you should have checked out all these channels already. Berna, Jen, the librarian, and Spinelli Speaks. They are 3 of the best channels on booktube. What is the best time to read? Anytime.
Morning time?
Yeah, I don't like evening because I often, if I'm in bed and I've got the book, I'm often like, it's
a bit sleepy.
Yeah, there's like a 4-page limit before
sometimes,
I'm like,
but also after you go to sleep and are snoring like a fucking freight train, that's a really good time to read because I'm not going to get to sleep anyway.
Because my snoring is soothing. Yeah.
Gentle, like a ocean sounds.
The other danger of reading in the night is if you're not like super tired and you actually get into the book, suddenly you're just like, wait, it's 2:30? What time do I have to get up at? 5? Oh. Where within the morning, you're just late for work and who cares?
Your boss. Other people have bosses.
Oh, start your own business. It's not stressful at all. Question 2. When do you plan on reading Ulysses?
When you meet us in Ireland.
Yeah, we discussed this.
This was we decided this.
We spoke to Danny on Voxer and she promised that she would meet us in Ireland. She promised. I don't think she did promise, but I'm really just going to change.
Well, it's either there or she's got to come here. And I think that once you're here, they won't ever let you leave again because we're under super quarantine.
Yeah, but if we go to Ireland, we can like follow Leopold Bloom around his tracks and stuff.
That sounds like a fun idea for a holiday.
It does.
Like super nerdy, but...
It does, super nerdy. Also, I have read Ulysses before. I really hated it. And talking to Danny where she's like, he actually uses different styles for each of the things and like she knows her stuff. And I'm like just some idiot who picked up a book because he's like, I'm smart. I'll understand. No.
Didn't understand it. I haven't read it yet, so I can't really comment.
Yeah. Also, I read Ulysses before I read the Odyssey. That was a clever order to do it in.
That seems just wrong.
I just assumed I knew the story of the Odyssey.
I find that really interesting when there's like an actual correct order that you have to read books or books that like suit each other in tandem, and I like that.
The reason why I've read so many classics and so few modern books is I believe that I had to like read the classics to understand the references in the modern books, so I just sort of like devoured them like some sort of nut.
Yes.
Who is your favourite author? I mean, I definitely have a group of authors I love.
Yeah.
It would be hard to pick between George Eliot, Andre, and Dumas, but out of those two, I think I'd pick Thomas Hardy. Yeah.
I really love E.L. Doctorow, Margaret Atwood, and Octavia Butler at the moment.
You've read one book of Octavia.
She's just impressed me so much, and I'm about to pick up another one. So we'll see. We'll see. Give me a week, and I'll tell you if I still love her.
Which author, alive or dead, would you make a meal for? I mean, who's going to critique my cooking the least?
Is that what you're going with?
Yeah, like, the other thing is...
I would like to make a meal for Margaret Atwood because I think that would be fucking fun.
That would be fun.
And that would just be enjoyable conversation.
The other thing that's good about Margaret Atwood that I would like is that I don't eat meat and neither does Margaret Atwood.
Yes, so we
easy.
can have a big vegetarian feast.
But if we're talking about who do we actually want over for dinner, then I'm going to pick Voltaire again.
Oh my god. No, I'm sticking with Margaret Atwood. I think that would be a good dinner party.
Okay. Maybe because there's two of us, we could have Voltaire and Margaret Atwood together. And then we can
and Margaret
make
Atwood,
them a couple.
No,
set them up on a blind date.
That's not a couple. I'm pretty sure Margaret Atwood would tell Voltaire that he is a twat. I don't think she's subtle about her opinions.
I don't think Voltaire's subtle either. I think this could be a fiery dinner party.
Yes, excellent.
Maybe that should be the question. Which two authors would you invite around for dinner so that they would
scream
argue
at each other
and you would enjoy?
Yes.
How many questions are you willing to answer? How many are you willing to write?
Well, yeah, I think she only went to 10. I've got much more stamina than that.
Yeah. Why did you choose a Q&A? Because all the cool people are doing it.
We copied you, Danny. We copied you.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
That's it. You're our muse.
Inspiration.
Our Matt Bellamy. Why are you still reading this?
Because you wrote it.
Don't judge me.
What's next?
Are we still friends?
Yeah.
What is your favourite curse word?
It's cunt.
You can't say that. Apparently we lose subscribers whenever you say that.
So we're going to be under 200 again. I'm sorry, but it's true. It's a good word.
I like to use curse words in flowery, inventive ways with other words around them, like, are you egg-throwing, liberal, Tory, flower-eating twat? Not that that's very good.
That was terrible. You've done well better than that.
I know. I was trying to outdo myself and I got the pressure. But as far as just the singular word, twant. Twant is a good word. I feel like...
It is a good word. It is quite good.
It could also be what happens when a Twix and a Bounty have sex. No.
Bounties, like all freaks of nature, are infertile.
Artificial insemination. Could really... No. This is just going to a place that I think we can avoid.
Yeah, if you think that me dropping the C-bomb makes us lose... Do you know what makes us lose subscribers even more? I don't like racists. If you're racist, unsubscribe.
Yeah, J.K. Rowling's.
Yeah, turf.
She is racist. Doing that tweet during the BLM's protest is racist.
Yeah, I don't like her.
Yeah,
she's a bitch.
Fuck her. Man, we just don't want to have subscribers, do we? No,
anyway.
We only want quality subscribers. We only want subscribers that are like, yeah, J.K. Rowling's is a turf. Or people who don't mind hearing that she's a turf.
Yeah.
Question 10 from Danny. Did you make it this far? No, I stopped halfway through.
Yes, we did, Danny.
Yes.
We persevered. What's next?
Sarah As You Wish. How did you and Nelle meet?
On the internets.
Plenty of fish.
Dating website. Mm-hmm.
I don't even think that's a website anymore.
It was a pretty bad website when we met on it. But,
Yeah. Nelle messaged me out of the blue on it. She didn't have a profile picture or anything, and I nearly didn't reply to her because she said she liked Transformers 2 as a movie in her profile.
I believe it was just the most recent thing I'd watched.
I know.
It was so judgy. But also, so was I. I was like talking to my auntie. We were both on the website making fun of all the men's. And I said to her, this one would be okay if he wasn't a vegetarian. And she said, well, that's ridiculous. If that's all that's wrong with him, send him a message. So I only sent you a message because my auntie made me.
Yeah, well, I basically looked at your profile and said, oh, what's the worst that could happen?
Welcome to marriage.
And now we have a dog.
Yes. He's so cute.
He is. If you had to recommend a book to somebody to help them better understand you as a person, what would it be?
Ooh.
That's a good question.
That is a really good question. I think it would be Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, because I think that formed part of how my brain works when I first read it. But I also think that if I had a long time to think about this, I could probably come up with like a Nelle's Brain boxed set.
Yeah?
Yeah, like these are the 5 books that represent me as a human being, and if you read and absorb this information, then you'll truly know me.
Yeah.
I almost think that that's a video.
That is an interesting, like the 10 books to describe you in a box set, and then you like do a
I don't
deal.
think you should put a number on it. I think it just should be you only put the perfect books in it.
That's a good idea for a tag video, actually.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We might do that.
Yeah, that we will do that properly. I will pick Keep the Aspidistra Flying by George Orwell. Yes. And I won't explain that because I don't think many people have read it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going to read it because he kills elephants.
He killed one elephant.
That's enough.
That is enough. This book doesn't take place in a country with elephants, nor does it involve menageries, zoos, or circuses.
I don't care about the opinion of a white man who killed elephants.
Okay.
Don't care what he has to say.
What's a book you'd recommend to people who'd want to get an idea of what it's like to live in Australia?
I think this is a really hard question because, number one, Australia is a big and diverse country, much like America.
There's not much difference, though.
I think you're wrong.
Yeah, there's Victoria and there's everywhere else, which is the same.
But I do think that if you want a sense of the landscape, then you cannot beat Tim Winton as an author. And I think that his book Eerie gives a very good sense of the modern sort of experience. So that would be what I would say. But I feel like that it's an insufficient answer.
I haven't read many books by Aussies because I'm racist towards them.
Yeah, you're a bit anti-Aussie.
I am. I'm slightly anti-Aussie.
He doesn't mean slightly.
Yeah. Let's move on. Sarah, as you wish, has one more question, if I can count question marks. If the two of you could travel anywhere together and money was no object, where would you choose?
The moon! Sorry.
But oxygen is an object.
Surely, if money is no object, then we get oxygen tanks. It was just a spur of the moment answer. It's not actually even correct. I think that like deep dark Amazonian rainforest or like the bit on the long way round where they got stuck crossing that
in Mongolia.
Yeah, like there.
I would love to go to Mongolia.
Like in the middle of freaking nowhere.
See, the problem is we both would like travel for a ridiculous amount of time if we had the money and could figure out what to do with the dog.
He'd have to come.
Yeah, he would. We would like get a caravan and he could run along beside us, and we could only move the distance in a day that
Then
he
he
could
could-
trot.
Oh, how good would that be? That would be the slowest trip around the world.
Yeah.
That would be so wonderful. Oh, so good.
Yeah, we would literally go anywhere. I've actually designed a travel plan for us just because this was fun. We would fly to Singapore. We would get a vehicle and we go up one side of Southeast Asia, through China, around through Russia, do Europe. At Ireland, we get on a ship to South America, to New York. We do a full lap of the Americas. When we get to like Colombia, we sort of scout around the Caribbean. We go back up to the top of America, back to Ireland, back around Europe, through all of Africa, back around Southeast Asia, all the way back to Singapore, and we'll do that in like a van.
In like a decade.
Yeah, I think I did work out that that's how long it would take.
Yeah. So if we were ever ridiculously that rich, then the answer to your question is everywhere.
Yeah. Now, we actually missed a question before already. There's more questions to go, but we missed the second question that Jen asked on Instagram. So we're going to space out Jen's questions because they're quality and we need to
Anyway.
Yeah. If you had to give your mortal enemy a book, one that was so good that when they read it, they would instantly want to be your friend, but you'd still say no to them because you hate them, and they'd be sad forever that they can't be friends with somebody with such great literary taste, what would that book be?
For starters, I'm not mortal enemies with anyone who values literature enough for this to be a true thing.
Secondly, Holden Caulfield would definitely have to get a copy of Return of the Native.
But I feel like Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance might be my answer to this question.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's because I didn't really like it.
I didn't.
Yeah. Sorry.
But that's okay. We're allowed to disagree on books. In fact, that probably makes better videos.
Listen to him snore.
With his eyes open.
Was he got his eyes open?
He does. He's
Is he
looking
asleep?
longingly at me. Before we started filming, I did offer him a WALK, and he turned it down.
And he doesn't want to, it's too bloody wet. He doesn't want to go out in the rain. He wants to cuddle you.
Okay, Emily from Novel Novels asked, my question is, what is your favourite era in history? This is like asking, what's your favourite ice cream?
Or country.
Or country. Or this is another one I just can't pick. I have a few answers. I like it to be older rather than newer. Like if you give me a choice between Tudor England and World War II, I'm always going to pick Tudor England, for example, right?
Yeah.
But there are certain events that I really quite like. I really enjoy reading about the end of the Napoleon reign in France, in particularly the 100 Days. But I like really, really old, I like to learn stuff. So I like to read about eras that I don't know about, and I like the older stuff because you often don't have a clue what's happened in those really old times because there's no evidence that survived and stuff. So
I think the answer for me is I like a good overthrowing of an aristocracy, and I don't really care when that is or where that is. So give me a good revolution and I'm in. Yeah.
don't even need guillotines.
No, but that was fun.
It is. Okay, so Sarah MG Reeves asks, on a planet far removed in space and time, there is a band of giant guinea pig warriors.
Yes, there is.
Perfectly reasonable. That's
Excellent.
not even fun. That probably exists.
Anyway.
I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, they have only one magical talent, which has allowed them to rule this planet for a millennia, despite their fat bodies, cute faces, and lack of physical prowess.
Well, I think that fat bodies rule, so maybe it's just their fat bodies.
What is the magical talent? Yeah.
But it's to eat people who imply that their fat bodies are not awesome.
No, I think it's that they're white.
They're born into privilege.
Yeah. That's it. Nobody challenges you if you're white. You just get stuff.
Okay.
Like a planet full of guinea pigs. All right. Next video with questions on it. The actual announcement video where the questions are.
Many?
I hope so.
I answered a lot already.
Okay. Miser G. Is that how you pronounce your name? I never quite know. I'm sorry. Anyway, she asks, what is a book you have read recently that you think would make a great movie or TV series? And which actor would play the characters? Or which actors will play the characters?
Because I'm obsessed with her right now, I'm going to go with Octavia Butler's Kindred.
Ooh.
And I think the Dana should be played by the lady who plays Allison in the Umbrella Academy.
Yeah.
And Rufus should be played by David Wenham. And
David Wenham?
He's an Aussie and a redhead, and he's a very good actor. He's probably a bit old now, but we'll just pretend he's not.
Oh, he's an Aussie. That's probably why I don't know him.
I really like David Wenham. He's a good actor.
Okay.
And who else? Who else are we?
Oh, who else is
casting?
in? I think you should probably cast her husband. Is it Kevin's her husband in?
Oh yeah, Kev. Feel like he's a bit of a nerdy type.
Yeah.
Who would we? Let's give it some Cumberbatch.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, there you go. That's my answers to those questions.
You don't want to. That's it. You don't want to do Alice.
I think that's some good direction. You could use the same actress for Alice and Dana.
Okay. I have read a lot of good books lately.
Don't brag.
I have. I really enjoyed our reread of Oscar Wilde's The Picture of Dorian Gray.
Mm-hmm.
Also, there's not many characters in that, so it's much easier to cast. So Dorian needs to be somebody young and
beautiful,
hot. Yeah, and I'm not really sure because I'm old and I don't know the name of any new actor. So we're going to get in a time machine. And I would be really curious to see Keanu Reeves as Dorian Gray. But Keanu Reeves circa Bill and Ted. Yeah?
Yeah.
Basil
Fawlty
would obviously be John Cleese. No, that would be terrible casting, wouldn't it?
Yes, that would be.
I'm going to go for somebody a bit more obscure. I think our British audience will know him. I don't think our Americans will. Russell Tovey, who is him from Him and Her.
Oh, him. If you haven't seen it, years and years starring him from Him and Her. That's a good show.
Also, Him and Her is hilarious.
Oh, yes.
Which is probably like really obscure now because
it's pretty old.
It's pretty old. Yeah, it's like 10 years old or something now.
Yeah, but hilarious.
It is hilarious. Now, Henry has to be played by somebody who can both be gay, and evil, right? And I think that either has to go to Derek Jacobi or Ian McKellar.
Okay.
Or maybe Tim Curry.
Ooh.
Tim Curry. Yeah, let's give it to Tim Curry.
Okay.
And finally, Sybil, the only woman of a name in that character in that show, that she should be played by a different person in every scene. Sometimes by drag queens, other times by bionic women, and sometimes by drag queens that aren't very
bionic women.
Yeah, like that show. Biological women.
I don't like that expression.
That's a horrible term, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's really transphobic.
It's not nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Anyway, don't use that term.
Let's go back to bionic women. Robots. Down with it.
By women with vaginas and women with tucks. Like, that's what we're talking about. But like, let's change her from black to white to a redhead to a brunette to Chinese to tall to short to fat to skinny to...
All the things.
To signify how unimportant she was in that show. Okay. And with an E, another booktuber. She's just done a Q&A video for her 100
Yes!
subscribers.
You should go and subscribe to Ange because she is a winner chicken dinner.
I don't think she's like a chicken dinner.
What the fuck would you know, vegetarian?
Oh my god, did that come up on the screen?
Oh, don't breathe. It's going to smell
Oh my
bad.
god, that's horrible. Oh shit.
What did he eat?
I don't know. Other booktubers would put a promotional video in here. We've got our dog farting. Which, bizarrely, I think is on brand for us. Yeah, that's you we're all laughing at.
He's looking at you for reassurance that his bum isn't going to explode.
You should probably go outside and go to the toilet, mate. Anyway, let's get back to this.
What's the question? Sorry.
And with an E, if you could only have one book on your bookshelf, what would it be?
The complete works of the English language.
I do like the complete works. That is like something that I can get behind because
yeah.
See, the problem is if you pick something you haven't read before because you want something new, it's a risk. Because what if you pick a bit of a Kerouac?
Can I tell you what? I'd probably pick War and Peace. I loved War and Peace, and I could probably read that 40,000 times and not get everything out of it. I think that's a good one.
Oh. I would also go for a chunker. I would go for The Count of Monte Cristo, which is my all-time favourite book. And
because we're married, we'd get to read each other's book.
Yeah.
Just to ruin all your rules, Ange.
Oh, maybe we have to share.
And then I win, because I'm the wife.
Oh, what about we negotiate? Maybe we could pick Les Mis.
Yeah, okay.
Katie from Books and Things. If you could recommend a book to a fictional character, what book would it be? What character and why? Holden, Caulfield, The Return of the Native. That's a really good question.
Ooh.
This is a hard question too. Like, we're trying to film this live so that we can just like put it up and not have this.
No, I feel like I should have
I feel like we maybe should have like read these questions beforehand and taken notes, but then we would have been like stilted and not funny. I think when you're going to recommend literature to a character, I think you want to pick a younger character to recommend it to, don't you? Like,
I think what I'm going to say is I would recommend The Watchmaker of Filigree Street to that guy who's the main character in American Gods. What's his name?
Oh, I forgot.
So instead of doing whatever he did in that book, he could just read The Watchmaker of Filigree Street to me. And that could be the plot of the book. instead.
Another book.
Yeah.
That's really harsh. And also completely fair because that book is terrible.
I did not enjoy it. I find this
But the
really hard
Watchmaker
though.
of Filigree
Like,
Street
am I
is
trying to
good.
make the character a better person? Am I trying to make them fulfilled? Like, why am I recommending this book? Am I trying to get them to... am I just trying to give them some enjoyment?
If I were to recommend a book for you, I would just recommend you a book that you would like.
So what character do I like that I want to give some enjoyment to?
Okay, so a book you've reread a lot. You've reread Little Women a lot, right? What book would you give to, like, Beth from Little Women? That's actually a bit of a sad question if you haven't read Little Women.
Yeah, I think Beth is hard because she's too young.
Jo.
And Jo's a bookworm, so she would enjoy anything. So I would give her Kindred because I feel like Little Women needs a little bit of race relations, and Kindred is such a good book, so good that it's a nice introduction to the racism as a concept and other people exist and stuff because the book is so good.
Yes. Also, the cool thing about Jo is you kind of get the idea that she may have been a bit of an author insert character.
Yeah, of course she is.
Yeah, so you're actually influencing literature with literature that has influenced literature.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really cool question. All right, so I need to figure out a character that I'm going to recommend a book to.
Yeah.
This is hard.
It is.
It is. What is...
Well, who's a character you loved recently that you can give a little bit of love by giving them a book that they might enjoy?
All right. I really love the Count of Monte Cristo. He is a great character. So Edmond Dante. Right. Now, the problem with recommending to Edmond Dante is he's like allegorically the perfect man who knows everything and is like, you know, has had all the time in the world to be the perfect everything.
So what you need to do is recommend him a modern book because he's dead.
Because he's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually feel like I need to recommend him a self-help book in order so that he could be happy. But I think I would have to recommend him something more modern that I've enjoyed. I would recommend to him, I think that this book here, it's just sitting here, would be right up his alley. A Brief History of the Seven Killings by Marlon James. It's got something for everything in it, this book.
Yeah.
And it won a Booker Prize. And I think that the sadistic Edmond Dante will get something out of it. The intelligent Edmond Dante will get something out of it. The vengeful Edmond Dante would get something out of it. I think that that is a good book.
It's quite heavy for its size.
Yeah, it's quite long. All right. Let's keep going. Mr. Fancy Reads. Good name, Mr. Fancy Reads.
Good name.
Another booktuber as well. Can you recommend any good villains from books? Yeah, I think we've both got the same one for this as well because there is one villain that beats all other villains. East of Eden, isn't it?
Ooh, Kathy.
Kathy Trask.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
I also like Craig.
I would debate Craig even being a villain.
Yes, which is the best kind of villain. It's totally the best kind of villain.
Also, you could probably debate if Kathy was a villain from East of Eden too, couldn't you?
Yes.
I mean, she is, but... what is the saddest I need a whole box of tissues book you've ever read?
For me, like instant tears of Mice and Men makes me cry every single time I read it. It's not a very long read, but it just pushes my cry button.
See, there are some books that are really sad in like little snippets. Like I just finished reading The Help, and there's some of that is really sad, but the book itself is not a sad book. And as a whole, I would probably give that to Jude the Obscure. because that is a depressing book, which is the joy in reading it.
Okay.
Now, it's a very similar but opposite question. And what is the funniest side-stitching book you've ever read?
I don't think it's supposed to be the funniest book I've ever read, but Mad Adam is the one that comes to mind at the moment because I chuckled the whole way through. Like a little maniac.
We mustn't waggle our giant blue penises at her.
It's such a joyful
that's a
dystopia.
punchline, yeah.
It's so funny for the end of the world.
Yeah. That was good. When I think of funny, I just can't go past Wodehouse. I love Wodehouse and Jeeves and Wooster. Probably The Codes of the Wooster, or that one with Gussie Fignotle, and he's attracted to a lady I've forgotten the name of who likes Bertie, and Bertie doesn't want to be involved in it, and there's a misunderstanding and an engagement, and Jeeves saves the day. That was a good one. I forget which one that is, because they've all gotten out like righty-ho, Jeeves, and thank you very much, Jeeves, and I forgot which ones I've read, Jeeves. Can you keep track of them for me? And there's like 17 of them.
Yeah.
And that's why The Codes of the Wooster is so remembered, because it's got a different sort of title. On this video, Danny says that she's already sent us some questions. And we've answered them. Sarah, she wished to have asked us another question on this. If you had the power to have an author, living or dead, rewrite the ending to one book, which author would it be? Would you choose and why? Man, there's some bad endings I've read, but do any stand out as particularly stinkworthy?
This is not because it's stinkworthy, but because I would just like it to be different. I think I would get Margaret Atwood to change the ending of The Testaments.
Yeah.
It was just too neatly packaged for my own personal...
You want a bit of mess?
I just want it... Yeah, it felt a little bit all wrapped up. I wanted it to be a little bit less like that.
All right.
Yeah.
Man, you're very good at just picking, aren't you? I tell you...
Yeah, because I'm not scared that someone out there is going to hold me to this decision for the rest of my life.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, I definitely need the perfect answer to this.
Like, whatever. If I think of a different answer to this random question in 6 months, no one's going to yell at me.
I tell you, I can answer the opposite of this question. Like, this is essentially, what book was awesome until the ending? I can tell you what book was shit until the ending, right? Mm-hmm. That's A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. That book was very much improved by the ending. So maybe I would subvert this question and ask Dickens to come back and rewrite the beginning of A Tale of Two Cities to match the quality of the ending.
Or maybe we should just pick a book that was utterly shit the whole way through, like The Catcher in the Rye, and ask J.D. Salinger to come back and rewrite the ending just so it has a hope of having some redeeming features. I
think the problem with The Catcher in the Rye is that it is actually aimed at people who aren't us. Yeah,
it's not aimed at me. That's for sure.
I think it's definitely aimed. Yeah, you know what? I would ask J.K. Rowling to come back and write a more inclusive and less hateful version of Harry Potter. Yeah, and I'd slap her until she... No, I wouldn't. That's horrible. But...
Yeah, I hear
you. Yeah. Okay. Melissa at Fully Books has asked us a few questions. We'll get a buddy read with her next month. I'm looking forward to this. What is the weirdest thing you have seen in somebody else's home? So, this is not for us, but I did see somebody with a photograph of a life-size replica of the TARDIS in their home. And I think when you opened it, it was a bar, I seem to remember.
Yeah, I think that was someone my dad knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. The weirdest thing I have seen, I used to work when I was younger at a TV repair place where we used to go there and we'd connect your VCR to your TV, and back when VCRs were the thing, that's how old I am. And we'd pick up a TV if it was broken, and we'd take it back to the factory, and then we'd come and reconnect it. Anyway, this one place was this horrible rundown joint, and I don't like to be judgy about that because, you know, some people are really poor and unfortunate, but this place stunk of piss, and their TV wasn't working, and we thought it was because the aerial was busted, so we had to try and test it. So we were there for a little bit, and basically I had this job for the summer, and so I was untrained and was basically there to like plug shit in and to pick stuff up because TVs were heavy and needed two people to lift them. Well, the ones that
in the olden days, yeah.
Anyway, long story short, on their wall they had framed their marks from university, which included fails and near passes and no credits, distinctions or high distinctions.
They got there though.
They were so pleased at getting there that they put up their marks.
Such a snob. That's the weirdest thing you've ever seen.
Why would you frame? I got 39% in organic chemistry. Like,
maybe that's an achievement for them. I think that you're a snob. My mum had a cleaning business when I was a teenager, and I used to help out on the holidays. And there was a house where in their bathroom there was what first appeared to be a cat that turned out to be a rather horrific collection of body hair.
Oh my god. How big was this cat?
It was a cat. It was like a cat-sized pile of body hair behind a bathroom door.
How hairy was this person?
Look, I want to say it was a family collection because I don't feel like one person could have. But anyway, that is the weirdest thing I've ever seen in someone else's home.
No, were they like hairy, or had they like shaved their body?
I don't think I ever actually met. The thing is, often as a cleaner, if you're like, you might not see them.
Oh, so
especially
that should be
because
like...
I was only working there for school holidays. Like, I'd be there 2 weeks in the year. You know what I mean? Like, I might know. People don't tend to have their cleaners come when they're home. You don't want to sit there and watch someone clean your house. It's weird.
So that could have been like the shavings of their taxidermied human. Like...
Taxidermied human.
Yeah, some people do that, I hear. That's what happens in the south of America.
You keep your people and you just stuff them and put them on the couch.
They're really backwards in Louisiana, I hear. Hi to everybody in Louisiana. I've never been and I know nothing about it other than you taxidermy humans. Maybe not.
I hope not.
Right. Oh, hello, mate. What is the most useless talent you have? I mean, I've got a lot of them.
I think all of yours are physics related.
Well, yeah, I can do a lot of physics that's relatively useless. I've forgotten most of it, though. This is not useless, but this is bizarre that people would think this. When we are tidying up the house, I will often tidy up barefoot because
Oh, it's gross. He uses his feet like hands.
I pick up things with my feet and pass them up to my hands. Yeah.
It's very weird. He uses like his big toe and his next toe like tongs and like picks things up. And I try not to watch.
Yeah.
Creepy.
So that's probably the weirdest thing I did. The other thing that I can do is look at my nose.
You can flare your nostrils.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure genetically like 50% of people.
No, I had to train myself to do it. I bet you, if this gets 100 views, I bet you only 2 or 3 people can do that.
I think that's wrong, and I think you should Google it. I think that most of my useless talents I've made useful by becoming a small business owner. I don't know. What's useless?
Yeah, I feel like I can tell whether an avocado is ripe or not by one finger. is a talent that we have actually developed because of this business.
And it's useful. And, like, I can smell whether lettuce is going off just by being in the same room as it. Well, that's very useful.
Yeah, but... And I mean, maybe that is useful if you're not buying and selling lettuces and avocados because you still eat them, but...
Yeah, I don't know. I've also got some weird computer talents because I've had to learn as we go. But...
Yeah.
I can't think of anything useless.
Yeah, that's the thing. I can eat a meal with a knife and fork while driving and listening to an audiobook and changing lanes.
He can terrify his wife.
In peak hour traffic. But maybe I shouldn't do that.
Let's not.
Let's not. And if you're watching this and you're a member of the Victorian Police Force, ACAB. I mean, I didn't do it.
Anyway.
Yeah. What's the most useless? If animals could talk, which animal would be the rudest?
Bryn.
Yeah, he's pretty... Like, he farted in the middle of this Q&A.
Did I say your name?
I don't know if he'd be the rudest. He'd be the most obnoxious.
He'd be the neediest.
I think some sort of monkey is the answer to that. Like, have you seen the video of the chimp lying down, upside down, pissing into its own mouth and drinking it?
I mean, it clearly doesn't need to speak to be the rudest.
I know. It's already the rudest. Like, they throw poo at each other for fun. It's got to be a chimp. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
No.
Why or why not? It's a meat.
I mean,
it's a sausage.
Just barely, but it's not a sandwich.
I mean, unless you mean like the whole thing with the
in
roll
a bun,
and that.
But it's still a bun with a sausage in it. It's not a sandwich.
Yeah, and if it really was a sandwich, the like sauce and condiments and mustard and stuff, that would go inside it, not on top of it.
Yeah, it's not a sandwich.
Yeah.
But also, a burger is not a sandwich, you weird Americans.
Neither's a wrap, like a kebab. That's not a sandwich. No. Sandwich implies flat bread.
2 pieces.
2 pieces. Often, and this is really pushing it, if the bread is not square, I will pass it as a sandwich, but I'm reluctant to.
Yes.
I feel like morally, that's where the line is.
Yeah.
Right? If you're one of these weird round loaves of bread.
Or you're like a big baguette that's been sliced long ways, not a sandwich.
Yeah. Subway doesn't sell sandwiches.
No, subs.
They're rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the Earl of Sandwich wouldn't eat a hot dog and call it a sandwich.
No.
If you had to pick a new name, also she's not American, she's Canadian. For being Canadian.
For talking American out of Canada.
Yeah. Yeah. It's probably why she's so nice. If you had to pick a new name, what would you name yourself?
Like a drag name? Or like
what would be your drag name? I think that's a good question anyway, Nell. Would you be a drag king or would you be a drag queen?
I don't know. It has to be some kind of pun if it's a drag name, and that's going to take me a while to think of.
Yeah.
But if I actually renamed myself as a new name, I don't know what I would name myself. I've become accustomed to my version of my name.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what I would call myself.
My name is actually Janelle, and I call myself Nell, so I kind of have renamed myself a little bit.
Yeah, and my name's actually Reginald, but I call myself Scott.
That's not true.
It's not, no.
He's just got no friends.
Oh, that is the dumbest, insult, Bryn, for punching me in the face. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know that actually, that annoys me not because it annoys me, but because, people have said that to me my whole life as a joke, and I'm like, I know, come on, I'm nearly 40 now. Can somebody, pass around a new joke with my name?
What do you think, like, Janelle smells is the only joke that exists for Janelle?
Smelly Nelly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, people aren't creative.
Yeah. Like, that's why I don't like most people.
Yeah, it's like booktubers and...
Yeah. And nobody on booktube would say they'd come up with something inventive and serious.
True.
Not serious, silly. How is his foot bent like that? That is not an angle.
Because he's a weirdo.
It's like a double-jointed knee. Would you rather be covered in fur or scales?
Fur, it's cold.
How would you scratch yourself in scales?
Just, I'm not interested in scales fur.
Yeah, fur.
More people are going to pat me. It's cold in Melbourne.
It's not that cold. It doesn't snow.
My feet are cold right now.
Oh. It's about the same temperature in Melbourne as it is on the south coast of the UK.
Right now?
No, like...
Do they have 3-degree days right now?
Year round, I mean.
No.
Like...
Hi. Oh. Are you coming over to me now?
And for our American friends, I have no idea what they is. Let's just say it's Seattle and Hope.
Yeah, Seattle seems like a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
to that's the rainy.
European friends, I don't know. And to our Chinese friends, you guys are whacked. You're really hot and really cold.
Hi. You're so big.
When you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up? Oh my God, Bryn, pick a person and stay there.
I wanted to be a lawyer until I figured out that was boring, and then I wanted to be a writer.
I wanted to be a runner, and then I wanted to own my own bakery and take over the world.
So close to what we actually do.
I know. And then I wanted to be a physicist. So yeah, I failed with all three of them. What would the titles of your memoirs be? Scott, why are you reading this? Nothing happened.
Probably something really modest, like Nelle's best, chuck out dressed.
No, I know what it'd be. If I called this book Cunt, would it reduce sales by 50%?
How to be a cunt?
If you couldn't live in Australia, which country would you want to move to?
Well, I don't think you would have to ban us from Australia for us to move to a different country.
Yeah, we have some pretty horrible shit going on here.
I just think that we would, we fantasize about this all the time. For me, France wins every time.
I would love to move to France, but for me, I really can't resist a country that overthrew its government and threw its bankers in jail during the GFC. So I'm going to pick Iceland.
Yeah, okay. But butter.
Iceland's not that far from France. I feel like the importing price... Yeah. Maybe not. If you could pick a superpower, what would it be?
The ability to teleport French butter.
I want my French butter
or
here
just
and now.
Other objects. Just like, bam.
French butter is the best butter. If you've never been to France and had butter before...
Then do it.
Yeah.
And their bread's good too. But butter.
Butter, yeah. Yeah. French food is... I mean, it's a cliche, but it's true.
Oh, no.
I don't know what superpower I would pick.
I feel that teleporting objects would be my thing. Just like...
The ability to heal people, including myself.
The ability to read any book completely. Like, slow down time so that I could read it slowly and luxuriously in my own experience, but only take, 10 seconds of real-world time.
The ability to sit back on your chair and not have a dog behind you.
That's not a superpower. That's just not owning our dog.
All right, quick fire round from Melissa at Fully Books. 5 questions.
Yeah, ready, go.
Favourite movie?
Requiem for a Dream.
Donnie Darko. Favourite animal? Panda.
Grid. Elephant.
Favourite non-reading related hobby? Making booktube videos. That's probably reading related if you think about it.
Yeah. I don't know, killing plants.
I have not done this a lot, but I really enjoy escape rooms and trivia.
Mm.
Favorite musician or music genre?
90s alternative rock.
My favorite band is an obscure band in Australia called the Kaiser Chiefs, but I think they're huge in the UK. But I just like weird rock, basically.
I don't know if I have a favourite band. If I was forced to pick one, I'd probably say Pink Floyd, just because
Pink Floyd's
they're
a
Pink
good
Floyd.
one. Who doesn't like Pink Floyd?
Freaks.
Favorite ice cream topping?
Hot chocolate fudge.
I don't really think that ice cream needs a topping.
But
If there's enough goods, like rum and raisin ice cream is awesome. You don't need an ice cream topping for it.
Or if it was ethical, I would say Milo. I really miss Milo on vanilla ice cream. It was really delicious.
Until Nestle killed babies.
Killed babies. So fuck you,
Fuck
Nestle.
you, Nestle. You're worse than J.K. Rowling's Nestle.
Yeah.
Nashwa S says, congrats on 200 subscribers.
Woo! Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Your channel has a very interesting name. How did you come up with it? Well, it's a play on words for gunpowder, treason and plot, which is to do with Guy Fawkes and the bombing of Parliament. And
we're generally a bit rebellious, and we were just brainstorming, and it happened.
Yeah, we wanted a punny name, and we wanted to pick something.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So it's a play on the gunpowder plot, really. That is the last question. Thank you for everybody who asked a question. I think I got you all. If I didn't get to one of your questions, tell me and we'll answer it in the comments, because...
But thank you for supporting our channel. It is lots of fun making videos for you. He doesn't talk to me during the week, so it's really nice to force him in front of a camera where he has to have a conversation with me.
I do talk to you during the week. This is like when I randomly say she beats me. Yes, but it has been fun. We love all of our comments. We love the friends that we've made. We love the interactions we have, and we do
Here's
appreciate
to many
it.
more. Mwah!
Buy yourself a drink from us with your own money.